Margaret and I'm coming to you from the Great Blacks in Wax, and welcome to the Wax Open Forum. My guest today is Nima Ogurunki, and she's the founder and executive director of OYO Transitions Cultural Institution. Okay, folks, we're going to be right back after a little commercial break. When you process this, are you going to be using concerning yourself with all mediums? Handcrafts, art, clothing, as far as African culture?
Well, specifically for this particular project, Market Women, Women of Power/Ability, we're identifying 10 emerging artists, artisans, craftspersons. So we might have we already have some artists who are on board and participating. One's a quilt maker. Okay. Another artist, her daughter is actually going to be presenting that day, 15-year-old artist, visual artist. So it's going to be an array of different artists. What I wanted to do was, again, to give more visibility to the emerging artists that are here in Baltimore.
Okay, you mean fine artists? Those who paint?
All across the board, but they're not forgetting the crafts people, the jewelry makers, and because it is a parallel to African culture, I'm looking for unique art forms, pottery making. I'm even interested in myself in blacksmithing.
Okay.
So we're just going across the board with different venues.
Okay, well tell us when this event is to occur. I see here you say it's a 2-day event.
It's a 2-day event because in working with emerging artists, what I've found, a lot of women, a lot of my sisters have talent as an artist, but just their next step, they don't have that information. So day one is a networking presentation for them to meet with seasoned and professional artists so they can find out about the business of art. The public is welcome to come there too, because we also want the public to be educated to the importance of investing in the arts, and particularly in the African American community. Day two, which is December 11th, that is going to be the day where each of these artists will exhibit their work.
Oh, okay. So do you have any people that we're familiar with that may be lined up for your
Again, with the local artists, probably not, because again, that term emerging. So some of these women have not shown before, some have. Blackwell is an artist that I think she has exhibited her quilt making before.
Okay.
But the other artists may or may not have exhibited before. This might even be their first time.
Okay. Also, I understand you're promoting a souvenir book.
Yes, we are.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, the Souvenir Journal, of course, to continue to raise money. As we all know, we need to raise money and to help to promote this and market this event, because this is the first of an ongoing series. So we're going to businesses and corporations and asking them to take an ad out in the Souvenir Journal.
You say you're looking for contributors and supporters of this this event particularly, or is this something that's going to be ongoing, raising funds for your organization?
Well, for the Souvenir Journal, and if I can back up, right now we're also interested in other artists who may be out there who might be interested in participating, and if not, if they don't get a chance in this event, the next one, because we are also already planning for March. The Souvenir Journal is, in fact, for remembrance. So each of the artists in their bio, a short bio, will go in the Souvenir Journal. Information about the organization, about myself, the concept of this event, and then advertisers.
Okay. And that basically is like a contact as well? I mean, there are people who are interested in some of these artists. This is a way that they'll be...
Right, that it would be in memory.
Okay. Nima, can you tell me what some of the other projects that your traditions are working on?
I'm proud to say that we've done a number of first art and performance and theater projects here. We've brought a dance performance group from Uganda, the Cameroon, from Ghana, from Nigeria. Again, with Oyo Traditions being focused on presenting authentic African art, culture, and traditions. That's where our focus has been, to where we've had guest speakers to come in to talk about various aspects in family life of African peoples. This is also that African Americans can understand better about African tradition, their culture, and their heritage.
Okay. We have a nice little clip for you right now. Let's take a look. That was great, wasn't it?
Oh, and that's exactly what Oyo wants to be about, promoting more of that, the artwork, the variety in the artwork, and the artists.
Wonderful.
It's wonderful.
My question I also have, I see you have down here women of power, market women. Why is the focus mainly on women, African Americans?
That's a good question, and I get that question when I'm doing something for men. Oyo has a long history of doing programs for both men, women, and the family. This particular one really was spawned about 3 years ago, actually, the concept, personal need to connect with sisters that are out there in Baltimore, and what's the best way for me to meet them, focus on the arts period of African and African American artists here in Baltimore, whether it be a woman or a man.
Right. I understand what you're saying about that, but I do know that there are some things that are going on around the city. Mm-hmm. The problem that I have with that is we don't come together.
Yes.
And I think this would be a wonderful opportunity for us, not just women, African American women, but for us who are on the same level or the same thought process as far as bringing us together to identify ourselves and know who we are. So this would be, as I say, people, this would be a wonderful opportunity for you to join
I hope they do. I hope that they do. I mean, last year we did a conference for men, and that was held at Morgan State University. And this year, so now the focus is on women, and it's near and dear to my heart because I am a woman and I'm yearning for that sisterhood. I know that there are a number of talented women here in Baltimore, and I'm hoping that this project will bring everybody out.
Exactly. And before we run out of time, I want to tell people to, I don't know if you can see this, but I want everyone to know about the Women of Power Consortium.
I would like you to give that information.
It's going to be held December 10th and the 11th at,
well, the first day, December 10th, is the networking meet and greet where the artist will talk to seasoned artists. I also have on hand a real estate agent to talk about buyership and contacting someone to come and talk about tax breaks for home, because we want women to be able to market themselves with what they're doing with their art. So that's going to be held at West North Studio.
Okay, I have the address here, but one of my questions, we have here a meet and greet session, so
Right.
these are going to be like conference sessions, or this is going to be
No, just a warm,
like an open forum?
warm meet and greet where women can meet, the artists can meet the other artists who want to participate, and the other artists who like Nefertiti Allen, who everyone knows here in Baltimore as a writer and poet, and speak to her experiences. West North Studio, Roy Cross, he's going to be able to talk to, again, these emerging artists, so they'll have an opportunity to ask questions.
And then, okay, I want to tell you about the Marketing Women of Power, which is going to be held December the 10th and 11th. On December the 10th, it's going to be held at the West North Studio, which is located at 106 West North Avenue, and that's from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. And on Saturday, December the 11th, it's going to be held at the Cork Factory Gallery, which is at 1601 Guilford Avenue in East Baltimore. So, tell me, why don't we just go to a break right now? Because Nima, if people wanted to participate in this consortium, how do they get in touch with you?
Anyone interested in participating art/vendor, they can call me.
Okay, and can you tell me a little bit more about what's going to happen?
Well, the Cork Factory is a wonderful space for artists, a wonderful large room. It's an existing gallery in the Arts and Entertainment District. So the various artists will come in, some who want to hang will have their work hanging up on the wall. Those whose artwork, like Wendy Blackwell, it's one artist that I know will participate. She's a quilt maker. So it'll be we'll have local performers coming in. It's going to be an event where the whole family can attend.
Yeah. Well, Nima, as you might know, we have an open forum here, and sometimes we tend to get questions from the audience. And I see we have a question now for your process.
Not a problem.
I was listening to what you were saying, but I sort of missed out on something when you said about the artists. You were saying that they have artists with quilts and paintings, but what about the musicians? Are you going to have them there playing music, anyone there playing music, these artists and stuff?
That's a very good question, and we hope to grow to where we can include all aspects of the art. I had a woman to call, and she's a writer. She is interested in the program, the focus of women and being a part of a women's group. And well, right now we're just using the visual arts, but in the next couple of months, as I hope this project picks up momentum and the artists understand that I'm trying to create a vehicle for them to present their artwork, no matter what one it is, a musician. Are you a musician yourself?
Well, I'm self-taught, and I make up my own songs, so I don't really consider myself as a musician, but I do play around for different people.
Well, see, then in our next, and while this focuses on women, only the first series of it, the next series we hope to just again to bring male artists and dancers, performers, musicians. My call is just to put a call out there to the artists so that we can become more visible while the city is turning towards the arts to bring new people in. I want African or women of color to have more visibility.
That sounds good.
Thank you.
It was wonderful.
Because you're an artist, it's near and dear to your heart.
Yes, it is, and I want to see make things happen in Baltimore, and I agree with you. There aren't enough venues for us to express our work. As a matter of fact, myself, I've been doing a lot of work in the Washington, D.C. area, because that's where it is happening for African Americans. But living here and being a Baltimorean, I'd rather do things in my own backyard, pretty much, is where I'm going with that. Well, Nima, I see we have another question from the audience.
Okay, hi. I'd like to know, how can I be part of the program or get involved in the program?
You can get involved. Are you an artist?
Trying to be.
You can get involved very easily. What I try to do is to broaden that term for artists, to include artisans, craftspersons. That means that a sister who is extremely good in braiding, even though most people might not think that's an art, to me, that's another form of art. What I'm trying to do is to help those sisters who are unsure that they're creating something of art, which in fact they are, and to let them be around other artists that can learn more of that area if you have an interest in it. So yes, you could be involved if you're a jewelry maker, pottery maker, anything. The key is anything that you created by your hands. It's the only criteria. It has to be something that you created by your hands. Have you discovered your artistic talent or had a dream or a desire to be?
It would be hair.
It would be hair? Mm-hmm. And in the art form itself, I mean, have you witnessed pottery making? See, I find that a lot of us don't understand the large range in art. Art could be pottery making. Have you ever?
I did jewelry making.
You did jewelry making? Okay, yeah.
Thank you very much. You have been very helpful to me.
Thank you for asking the question. I hope you got it.
Thanks.
All right.
Okay. I noticed also, there's one other question I wanted to ask you. I should have asked you when I was talking to you. I noticed you mentioned about women as far as the art is concerned, but I didn't really catch it whether or not there were men's involved. So what is the answer to this? Will there be any men involved?
Well, we hope men will come and support the event, but this particular exhibit, this time is for women artists. We're starting with women. Last year, as I said earlier, we did a conference for African men at Morgan State. So what I try to do is to do something specifically for men, for women, and for the whole family. So men will be out, so I hope you come by and support your women.
I think that's fair.
Okay.
Thank you. And I want you all to understand, Nehemiah has also mentioned that it's not only for African American women, but also Caribbean Americans and Latin American or women of color.
Yes.
Can also be a participant. So if you're interested, of course, get in touch with Nehemiah.
Thank you.
And we're going to take a break right now.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Margaret, I'm so awestruck with your talent and your energy here in Baltimore, which really, honestly, is what is encouraging me to do this program, because a lot of times we ourselves don't value it, and we have to. And I hope on that day that you will bring your poetry to the event.
Well, I thank you and I appreciate you for saying that. And yes, I like to seize every opportunity I can to show what I can do. I'm like you though, it's hard to find the place.
Yes.
And because when I do my poetry or when I do my work, it's more about inspiring and enlightening and being entertaining as well. But in my entertainment, I want to be able to make people think, change their mindset.
Exactly.
So this is what we, and I'm like you, we run into a lot of people and we all feel the same way, but we don't have a common meeting ground. And I think this would be most helpful and most exciting for us to be a part of.
So I'm glad that you accepted it. I'm glad, and right on camera, so everyone has heard it.
So look for me, and hopefully I'll be at the Market Women. And those of you who love what we do, we're here for you is pretty much what we're trying to say with this upcoming event. And again, it's going to be held December 10th and 11th. And call Nehemiah for details and ticket information. And if you want to be a vendor or a participant in this cultural event. And we'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. Now, we've talked about market women and women of power, but let's talk about the woman behind this event. Nehemiah, just want to tell us a little bit. You say you're a native New Yorker?
Yes. Originally born in North Carolina, hailing from New York. I'm a down-home girl.
I'm from North Carolina.
Okay.
Your sisters anyway.
So when I moved to Baltimore, I need to avoid a lack of culture, the lack of visibility of a focus on African American, my people and their artwork. It's not to ignore anyone else, but I was looking for more visibility of what my people are doing. And since I'm at the core of my organization is for me to research African culture. That's what spawned the organization, and throughout the years, just trying to tap into that untapped resource.
Okay, and that's wonderful, but I want to know a little bit more about
I know you asked about me. What is it about?
and your passion. I mean, who are you? Who is Nehemiah Trent? People need to know that as well.
Well, actually, I'm discovering myself through the works of my program. I'm not an artist per se. I have danced in the past, and that's a passion of mine. I guess I'm trying to sort of vicariously live through other artists to find out what I like to do. You know, that person who likes to do everything, and once I put my hands in that, I see something else that I'm dazzled by. And it's a lot of fun. Most of my friends are creative people, creative thinkers, and so not only we talk about the arts, but we talk about all social issues that affect our community and how in using the arts can help to transform.
Yes, you're at Rockscape this year. Can you tell me, I think you had brought the dancers in?
Yes, we did. This year we were fortunate enough to participate, and I brought an Afro-Cuban group that's based in D.C. What I'm trying to do is, you know, I like to travel to D.C. and New York myself to get out of town, but also I'm trying to bring the talent that's here out. But yes, this year we brought in an Afro-Cuban group that played music and dance and talked about the religious aspect of the Yoruba tradition.
So you have a problem. So our issue is having venues for alternative art. I mean, we have like the poetry venues, and we have the hip hoppers and whatever. We have the jazz venues and art museums, but not for us, is what you're saying.
I'm saying that in part. Now, what I'm saying is that we need to be more visible, that there's a lot of talent. Me coming from New York to Baltimore, I've met them, so like yourself. And I'm always wondering, why doesn't the greater public know about our artwork, our contribution? And I'm also hoping that through a need that we find out, we have to come together as a collective to be supportive of each other's venues.
And well, Nehemiah, we have a clip on just what we spoke about, and we want to take a look at that right now.
We need to, or I'm of the opinion that we need to tell our own story. We need to be active in doing that. We have a rich culture, we have a rich heritage, we have tremendous talent that is out there. So we can't wait for people to come and discover us.
Exactly.
Right. That's exactly, what I'm talking about. It's such a tremendous talent here in Baltimore, and we can't wait for other people to discover us.
I
Right
agree.
now, there's an emergence of the arts right where I live on North Avenue, and for whatever reason, there's no focus on women of color, on men of color who have been out here, giving of their talent, giving of their gift. And art is just so extremely important in our community. So this will give some visibility to that, I hope.
I agree. But how do you feel about that in respect to the opening soon of the African Culture Museum, I won't name?
And why are we not involved? Why doesn't people know more about Oyo traditions with things that I've done in the past? So while I'm worried and concerned about that, I don't worry about it because I know I have to continue doing what I'm doing.
Exactly. Well, your ultimate goal then is to find a venue of sorts.
Find a venue, find a movement. Oyo has been long after trying to identify property to have a cultural center. I don't want to go into that.
I understand because I approach some people who have money, this whole concept of our culture and bringing us all together, not cliquish, but just being open-minded.
You have to be.
And when I mentioned having a cultural arts program for our children, his comment was, nobody's going to invest in that. And that taught me, it really hurt me, because I said, well, you may not be interested, but I am. And I will do whatever it takes to make it happen. And so I'm like, I'm on the same page, and of course we've been talking about
And while
same page.
African American men are certainly important in my life, I have the feeling, and since African women have been in the forefront, if I can find 20 African American women who are drama-less
Right.
and ready to move forward, that these things that we want, that we need to showcase our talent and that of our children, we'll get it.
Right. And two, I'm of the mindset that we need to get rid of the competition because we don't need to. We're here to teach
Right.
and to be reborn in a sense. We identify with anybody else because we have, like you say, a rich culture and so
Yes,
much
we do.
going on
Yes,
within
we do.
ourselves. So I'm feeling you there. Okay, again, I want to tell my audience this is Nima Warunki. We just say Nima. And she has an upcoming event. It's called Market Women, Women of Power. It's being held December 10th and 11th. And they're going to be at 2 different venues. So you'll have to call Nima to get that information. And I want to thank you all for joining us today. And my audience, guests, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Margaret, for having me.
Oh yes, folks, by the way, remember we have a gift shop here, and always remember spend 10. And if you'd like to be a guest on our show, you can come to the forum. We tape once a month. We tape the first Monday of every month. And if you'd like to be a guest, you can call us at this number.